Hi friends, it's Suzanne here from sunstampin.com. I'm a Canadian Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I want to welcome you to my weekly Wildcard Wednesday video on my blog and YouTube channel. The card designs I share today are a little more technique driven, but nothing too complicated. I also sell the products I feature in this video. I hope you enjoy my free video tutorial and would love to see you shop with me. For today's video, I am going to make two cards out of these two stamp sets, the Dress to Impress stamp set and the Woven Heirlooms stamp set. So I have my Stamparatus here, and I have made myself a wreath builder, I guess you can call it. And I'm using a small image from the Dressed to Impress stamp set, and this is a photopolymer stamp set, so I actually have my foam mat in my Stamparatus. I'm using two of my Stamparatus magnets, and the little piece, the little circular magnet in the middle is holding my 3.5 square piece of Whisper White down. I am inking up with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. When I placed the stamp from the Dress to Impress, so that little rosebud there, when I initially started, I put it on the square that was proper. So it wasn't in the diamond position, it was in the square position. And that is an actual really important step when you are using a wreath builder like this. I am going to share with you how I made my wreath builder, but just not in this video. I don't want the videos to be too long, and it will be coming out shortly, so keep an eye on it. It is one of my isolation creation videos, okay? It's going to be a little bit extra. This video is already 10 minutes, so I don't want to overwhelm you. So you can see what I did there. I'm going to do it a second time, and this time I'm going to use a red rubber stamp. And so I took the foam mat out of my Stamparatus, and so now the magnets are really sticking down my wreath builder paper, which is the green stripey thing. I tried really hard to make it not so glary, but I managed to make it glary. All right, so I'm stamping with, let's see, there was Granny Green Apple or Granny Apple Green, and then I daubed on some Pacific Point ink. And this combination makes a very beautiful teal color. It's nice because it's a transition. I think Granny Apple Green is the most versatile color. It goes practically with everything, minus the reds. And I find that well, even some of the reds too. I find that it really works well with yellows and blues, and of course greens. So you can see this little fleur I don't even know, this is a flourish, but that's a perfect circle, right? And then, so I'm just taking a baby wipe, wiping it off on my hands, and then I end up having to clean my hands later because I didn't have my little chamois around. But I'm going to position this again, kind of in between in a different position. I always want to make sure, well, this image is small enough that I didn't have to put it in the square position because I kind of already knew where I was going to be stamping. Hopefully that you'll get the hang of it once you use it a couple of times. And then I'm just doing straight Pacific Point ink on these ones. So this is going to be more of a blue card as opposed to a green card or a teal card, but I like the variation there. And this is my wreath and I can do what I want. And when you make your wreath, you can do what you want. This is a good technique for small images. Now, my little wreath builder here, I'm sure I can make a bigger one. I just used designer series paper and adhesive sheet and a window sheet as well. And it only works with, like mine particular here, only works with a 3.5 square, but I can, you can go bigger if you wanted. I will show you the technique in my next, in a video coming up here shortly. I just didn't have time to edit because, you know, I got stuff to do like baking bread and stuff. I had a lot on my plate this week. That's all. Oh, and here's Molly. Hi, Molly. Okay, bye, Molly. All right, so I'm back to the rose or the Dress to Impress card, and I used Lovely Lipstick for the sentiment. Hello, fabulous. I put my Stamparatus away, brought out my Stamparatus grid mat, which I used to color on. And this is an absorbent surface, so my blends, alcohol markers, can go right through without bleeding. And that is the trick when you're using blends markers. You can't have a non-porous surface underneath your paper. You have to have a porous one so that the ink can be drawn right through and not spread on your page. I used dark and light Lovely Lipstick. This color will be going away at the end of the month. So if you don't have the blends markers, you may want to get them. I started off with Granny Apple Green, and this is Shaded Spruce. This is the color I choose for leaves. It works perfectly. And I used the dark Granny Apple first, then I'm using the dark Shaded Spruce, and then I will go back and even out that color with my dark Granny Apple. And then you'll see in the pictures how very realistic it looks. Well, I think it's realistic. It's just a good color combination. All right, so then I use some Stays On ink, which is my favorite ink to use with red rubber stamps. And of course, Stampin' Up sells it and the re-inkers. And I just use that simple sentiment from the Woven Heirlooms that says, thank you so much. And then here's Molly again, just making sure that I'm doing a good job. Really, she's been in the videos lots lately. So I'm just putting some dry adhesive on my 3.5 squares. And then these are just slightly bigger mats. So I think I used Pacific Point for this one. And then this is my trio punch. I don't pull it out very often, but it really has this lovely little detail here. It also has a corner rounder and a ribbon hole. So in case you don't have this punch, you may want to pick it up because it's very handy. Dry adhesive on the back of my little square, and then I put it on a piece of Lovely Lipstick card, which is also retiring at the end of the month. So if you don't have this beautiful color, you might want to get it. I smothered the back with dimensionals, and I have put them on 4.25 by 4.25 sized card bases. Now for the embellishments. This is the Pretty Peacock rhinestones. They also are retiring at the end of the month, so you might want to throw them in on your next order. And because they're beautiful, they come with so many different colors, and I'm happy to use them up. And well, especially on this one particular card. On my next card, I just used 3 pearls that I colored with the Lovely Lipstick blends markers. That's my card for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye for now. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. On screen are 2 more videos for inspiration. Click on the maple leaf for my blog, or click on me to subscribe to my channel. Thanks again for watching.